Always my favorite part. Always my favorite part. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. 4 3 2 1. Hey, yo. What's going on, guys? Good afternoon to people on the Midwest. Good afternoon to people on the East Coast. Good morning to people on the West Coast, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone else around the world. How's it going, guys? This is hashtag TNT JoeFi, tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, the only host here, Jerome Ortega. This is episode something because I lost count. This is also day something in quarantine because I lost count. But how's it going, guys? How you guys doing? Happy June 1st. Today is June 1st. Almost half the year is gone. And it's been a crazy year so far, like ridiculously crazy. And it was a tough weekend, guys. And I'm sure all you guys know what's going on. Just crazy. But we're here to talk tech today. I kind of want to just get my mind out of everything else that's going on. There were a lot of riots and protests in Chicago, and I really wanted to go protest and support my city, but like the way the situation is right now, plus I live with elderly people at the moment. The last thing I want to do is catch anything and pass it along. So I hope everybody, if you're out there, you're staying safe and you're doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. But I'll leave it at that. So we'll talk tech today. There's a good amount of news. I don't know how detailed I'm going to get into stuff, but we'll talk about it. I do see a couple people in chat. Aaron Jude, fam with the heart. Hey, Aaron, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Have you been in here before? I don't remember. I'm not sure. But regardless, welcome, man. Welcome. Glad you could make it. I also see RSILI NYC because I can't pronounce it right. What's up, Jerome? Listening in while at work. It's hard to connect with the chat, but I try not to miss the stream. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for even just taking the time to say that and to sit and listen. I know there are a couple people that do it. I also know that I think a good portion of people from the US who listen, and I know it's like during work hours. So appreciate you stopping by. I see Brian in here as well. What up, everyone? What up, Brian? What's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. And let me see here. Aaron Jude says, I'm new here and love this channel a lot. Thanks. How new? Are you new? Did you just come in right now and you love the channel? Like 2 seconds of you being into it? I'm just messing around, man. Aaron, welcome to the stream, man. Muhammad, first time here. Muhammad, welcome, man. Welcome. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. I mean, in the stream. Okay, so you know my channel, but first time in the stream. Glad you can make it. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So let's get into it. Let's talk about a couple stories. I don't know if I should start. Yeah, we'll start with this. So over the weekend, I got news, or I saw the news about this Android 11 beta launch show. And if you guys are not aware, so every year Google holds Google I/O around May, and that isn't going to happen because of coronavirus. And so instead, they were going to do this thing called the Android 11 beta launch show, where they were going to discuss the new version of Android 11 coming out. And now that's getting postponed as well. And I think they were saying a big reason they were postponing it was because of what's happening right now, just in the world here in the US. But, there might be something to it as well. Like maybe, it's not ready to come out yet. I don't know, but here's the thing. So Android 11 is, it's still, they're working on it, whatever, but there was also a Pixel feature drop today. So at least there are updates that are coming out. So let's talk about this real quick. Google I/O was canceled, and so we had high hopes about the Android 11 launch. I was excited for it. I was waiting because I also thought this was when they were going to be announcing the Google Pixel 4a, but now that looks like that's getting postponed as well and not ready to be announced until mid-July, and might not even be available for sale or shipping into people's homes until August, which sucks because I've been waiting for this phone. And I'll segue. So because I couldn't get a Pixel 4a when I thought I was going to get it, I ended up buying a God, it looks so pretty even on the webcam. I ended up getting a Galaxy A71. The reason I got this Galaxy A71 is because I wanted to test the Snapdragon 730 chipset, which is going to have which this Galaxy A71 has the same chipset as this upcoming Pixel 4a. And I'm actually going to talk about the A71 today for a bit. I'm actually digging it, which is surprising. Oh, I hear my voice somewhere. Is that coming from... I don't know. Oh, I have a window open. Okay. Anyway, hopefully there wasn't any other audio. Anyway, so we'll talk about that. So let me see here. It's only a beta release, so it would still be understandable if there are bugs and issues, but the devs are postponing the launch. Again, I don't know if they're postponing it because of everything that's happening in the country right now, or because, they're still working on it and they can't get the kinks out, but it's a beta. So I figured even if there were bugs, like they're saying, that it would be coming out. The Twitter announcement was sent over the weekend. There could be many possible reasons, but Google did not release any formal press release or explanation. The event is postponed until further notice. We realize saying canceled may seem heavier or definite. It's just postponed. The live stream event isn't happening on the initial schedule provided. No official reason was given, but the news was released via the Android developers' Twitter account. The team said, quote, "Now is not the time to celebrate." Makes sense. The delay may not be the delay may not be because of the pandemic. We're guessing it's because of the recent political unrest concerning the death of George Floyd. The incident in Minneapolis has sparked a new discussions on racism. Protests are happening left and right in the United States, and it's escalated to more than just peaceful protests at this point. Google may be contemplating on the timing of the launch, that or the beta version isn't ready for a wider release. I'm excited for Android 11. I've been wanting to test it out. I haven't even updated my Pixel 4 to the developer preview. I haven't been using my Pixel 4 as much because the battery's just been really subpar, which we're going to actually get into that because of the Pixel feature drop. Because apparently the new Pixel feature drop is supposed to help the battery, but we'll see. We'll see if that's really the case. Let me finish this article off here. So developer previews are already available, so we're curious what could be the reason for the postponement, since it's just a formal public launch. And again, I think they're probably postponing it because of everything that's going on right now. Google also outed Android 11 developer preview earlier than usual, so it should be more than ready. Much has been said about Android 11. Our last feature was Android 11 developer preview 4. Developer preview 3 was released a couple weeks before that. We also told you about, I don't have to read all that. We also know the Google Pixel launcher is getting new features on Android 11. It will also add quick settings, music player, and new notification, blah, 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 blah. So we'll get into that. We'll talk about that in a bit. Let me get back into the stream though. Yeah, Brian says due to the Rona riots and classic Google laziness. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Google's laziness might be in there as well. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how much they're doing right at this point of the game, but yeah. Mohammed says they better make it stable. I mean, the Android 11 upgrade. I hope so, but Mohammed, knowing Google, I don't know. Yeah, Brian says here, hope it'll be stable. Can't have stuff not working in these pandemic times. Team Varai, what's going on, Team Varai? Nice to see you, man. Dang, they postponed it too long. Speaking of protests, I'd love to join a peaceful protest, but I'm all the way here in the UK. Yeah, man. If there's one thing that I do a lot of, man, it's protests. I've done well. Not a ton, but ever since I work for the news org that I work for and the stuff we do, it's really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a weird time to be in right now, and it's also crazy because we're not even halfway into 2020. We're just getting halfway into it. It's crazy. Anyway, nice to see you, Team Varai. Glad you can make it again. Aaron Jude, hey Jerome, if you were given upcoming iPhone 12 or Pixel 5, which one would you go for? As from the spec info till now, the honest truth, if knowing nothing, knowing the specs currently, but knowing where the current playground is, or the current fighting ground, I guess you want to say, on both of the phones, I would buy an iPhone 12. It's probably going to have the better camera. It'll probably have the better battery, but it'll have the better processor, and it'll probably be cheaper at $650 US. I don't know if you're from the US, Aaron, but that's what my assumption is. And I'm only basing that off of what I know right now. Maybe we'll get surprised. Maybe the Pixel 5 will be better than the iPhone 12 in terms of battery in terms of battery life, in terms of the camera. That's my hope. Maybe in price even. But we'll see. So yeah, that's what I would go with. Aaron, I don't know if you know this or not. I've been an Android guy for a long time. I mean, I've owned both phones for a good amount of time, but in 2019, the iPhone 11 Pro was the first time I actually had an Apple as my phone of the year. That's never been the case for a long time. But yeah, knowing if I had to pick one today, that's probably where my money would go if I could only pick one. Which that kind of pains me to say, but I'm being honest. I do not care for the iPhone's UI, but Everything else is pretty solid. Build quality, performance, battery, camera. They killed it in 2019 with the 11 Pro. Anyway, I already said welcome, Aaron. I was looking at Mahir Panda. I did this before. Mahir Pandhare Pandey. God, I just want to say it properly. Pandhare Pandey. I don't know. Mahir, welcome to the stream, man. I know I've seen you before. Appreciate you stopping by again. Do you prefer great battery, average charging phones, or average battery, great charging phones? If I had to pick one, these are good questions, guys. If I had to pick one, I would prefer great battery and an average charging phone. Is fast charging great? Yes. I love it. It's great to have. It's also great to have in a pinch. But at the same time, I would rather have a phone that I know that once I unplug it, I can go a day plus with it. Like not worry, not have battery anxiety. It's a good question because the Pixel 4, could you say the Pixel 4 has an average battery? Maybe for someone who wants 4-ish hours of screen on time. And even if that phone charged in 30 minutes, I would still rather have a phone that I knew got 6 hours of screen on time and charged slower. But that's a really good question. I appreciate you asking that. I see a couple super chats here, but let me just make sure I don't miss a spot. Let me see here. Brian says you can still protest from where you are. Just hope you stay safe. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. We can still have voices because we have a platform online. So that's very true. Mohammed says, I know it's doubtful that they'll make it stable in the first public release. You're probably right. Yeah. Brian says iPhone 12 easily. I agree, man. Krishna, Katakum, Krishna, it's been a while, man. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. I know that, you're saying finally made it to the stream. Sorry, I've been too busy. It's all good, man. I mean, you've been a supporter for a while and I appreciate that. So Krishna, welcome. Glad you can make it. Brian also says iPhone 12 over the Pixel 5 just on looks alone. Ugly face on the back. I still feel like the back isn't that bad, but that's me. Saying that is easy and hard at the same time because I definitely prefer Android over iOS. I agree as well. Y 2019. Hi Y. How's it going, man? Glad you could make it again. Nice to see you in the stream. Let me see here. Team Verizon with the dollar, not the dollar, the 150 pound. How do I say that? Since I can't say $1.50, do I say £1.50? How does that work? Actually, I don't know that. Team Verizon, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Always, that support means a lot to me. Brian as well with the dollar super chat, always continuing with his streak of super chats, even through the month of June. And if you guys notice, well, I don't know if you noticed, on the intro and outro, I always put, the month of super chatters. And so you two will get into the month since we're just starting in June because it's June 1st. I didn't have any super chatters for the month of June until right now. So you guys will get added onto that. Also, thank you guys for being members. Appreciate it so much. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, we'll leave it at that. Let's continue on. Let's get on to why says £1.50, maybe. I don't know. I think Team Verizon will be able to £1.50, he's saying. But yeah, someone clear that up for me. Anyway, let's move on, guys. Let's talk about the Pixel feature drop. Actually, I see another I've seen you, Noel, before, right? Or at least in the comments, or have you been in the stream? I can't remember. Noel, no, I was about to say no last then I'm like, no last name. Noel, how's it going, man? Good afternoon, Jerome. Any other Chicagoans here? I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh no, Krishna, right? Krishna, you're from Chicago. Krishna's from the north side. Am I correct in saying that? But I believe so. Noel, are you from the north side? Curious where you're from. Actually, I didn't even know if you're from Chicago or not. But if you are, man, it's always nice to see another Chicagoan. I always love being able to South Side for Krishna. Don't say sadly. There's nothing wrong with being a South Sider. My friends would take offense to that, man. Anyway, Noel, welcome, man. Welcome to the stream. So let's move on, guys. Let's talk about the feature drop that was released today. Any of you guys who have Pixels, did you guys get the feature drop, or are you like me who just manually puts it on if you don't get the OTA? But let's talk about it. So this is actually straight from Google. I have a couple other articles that are talking about the feature drop, and I might go through those if there's actual like extra pertinent info, but we'll go through what Google's actually saying. So new Pixel features for better sleep and personal safety. Whether you're trying to extend your battery life or find ways, let me make this bigger for you guys so you can see it. I see Rise. Am I saying that right? Rise. Have I seen you in here before? I can't. I have such a hard time remembering who I see or I didn't. I just got the update. Awesome, man. Great. Let me know what you think about it. I'll go back into chat in a bit. Rise, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat, man. Glad you could make it. Glad you could drop some info. So whether you're trying to extend your battery life or find ways to disconnect each night, that's something I need to do. So I read a little of this, and that's something that I might try to take a look into this feature. Pixel's latest features make it easier than ever to get the most out of your phone. And with the latest updates to the personal safety app, your Pixel is giving you more options to help keep you safe in an emergency. Adaptive battery improvements. Adaptive battery already learns your favorite apps and reduces power to the ones you rarely use. Now, adaptive battery on Pixel 2 and newer devices can predict when your battery will run out and further reduce background activity to keep your Pixel powered longer. Here's the thing. That's all well and good. I'm glad to see that. Wonderful, great. Anything to save battery is always a plus for me. But how much better is this going to work on my Pixel 4? Is it going to push me from 4-ish hours of screen on time, which is about 90% on Wi-Fi since I'm at home anyway? Is it going to push me to an extra half hour, an extra 45 minutes of screen on time? I seriously doubt it, but I'll take it, right? Anything that'll save battery is great. But I've already done so many things to save battery on the Pixel 4. I've said this before. Brian helped me out with this to turn off digital well-being. Always on display. I think I have some stuff turned on, but solely's turned off. There's a good amount turned off just to save battery. And I wish I didn't have to do all those things, but I wish they had just fixed that from the get-go. I mean, again, I'm not trying to shit on new updates because I want new updates. I want new features. I want things that will help the phone, but it's also hard to just see that and be like, well, how much better is it actually going to do? So moving on, Bedtime made better. The new Bedtime feature in Clock helps you maintain a consistent sleep schedule and strike a better balance with your screen time each night. Let me share this with you guys. I don't know how many of you guys do this, but who here goes to bed with the phone next to you at night? Because I'm one of those people. Every single night, and it sucks because it's like I have a phone here, and then I have another one here, and then I have 3 more behind me. And no matter what, I have a phone next to me in my bed. And sometimes I have 2 phones next to me in my bed. And I'll be honest, last night I went to sleep at 4 in the morning. 4 in the fucking morning. And I laid in bed at around 10:30 at night, telling myself I would go to sleep properly. And I didn't. And so for like what? I know I got up for like an hour just because I couldn't sleep, but I was on my phone watching YouTube videos, watching or reading articles. Actually, what I was doing is I was spending a lot of time on the A71. I was actually trying to push it last night to see how well the 730 chipset fared, but I'll talk about that in a bit. Anyway, I'm talking about sleep and how hard it is for me to sleep. And maybe this is something that will help me. Actually, you know what would help me is if I just didn't bring the phone with me in my bed at night. You know what I used to do? When I told myself it was time to sleep, I would literally put my phone, well, this was when I had my own apartment, and I would literally not even bring the phone in the bedroom with me or the studio apartment with me. Like so I live in Chicago, right? And so I would always stay in studios, except for one time when I had like a bigger apartment. But for the most part, I would put my phone so far away from me and just lay in bed and then just force myself to sleep. And that's really what I should do. But maybe this might be an option here. So, fall asleep to calming sounds and limit interruptions while you sleep. So with my Google Mini, what do they call it now? A Nest Mini, whatever the fuck they call it. I would always turn on sounds, and even living in the city, I would still turn on city sounds a lot. Or they have country sounds where they play like crickets or whatever. Sometimes I need some kind of white noise, and that's helpful. But I haven't done that in a while. It's also because I don't live by myself right now, and I don't want to be turning like noise on and like wake other people up. So if you stay up on your phone past bedtime, that's me, you'll get a snapshot of how much time you're spending awake and on which apps. Here's the thing is like, I kind of don't want to turn that on because I'm scared to see how much time I waste when I'm just laying in bed. Each morning you can wake up with your favorite track or with a gradually brighter screen with sunrise alarm. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Recorder, Docs, and the new Google Assistant all working together. The Recorder app now lets you start, stop, and search voice recordings using the new Google Assistant. Simply say, I'm not going to say it because I don't want your stuff to go on, start recording my meeting, or you know what it's going to say, show me recordings about dogs. You can even save a transcript directly to Google Docs, making it easier to share with others. Oh, that's pretty cool. You know what's funny is I've had my Pixel 4 since day one, and I still haven't I still haven't used Recorder. I haven't found a use for it yet. You know, the stuff I do with work or whatever is just mostly at home, and it's mostly video editing, and now a lot of what I'm doing is streaming. So it's not something I do often. Yeah, so personal safety features. The personal safety app on I like looked real quick and I see Mint Arcade in here. And it's funny because I'm talking about sleeping late, and Mint Arcade, I keep forgetting where you're from. But I think right now, what time is it? It's almost 2 p.m. Central here. And it's probably like 3 or something in the morning there. Mint Arcade, go to sleep. No, welcome to the stream though. I will get back to chat in a bit, guys. I just in the corner of my eye I saw Mint Arcade. I always want to say hi to him because he's been a good supporter for some time now. I mean, kind of a newer supporter, but he used to come in every day until I've been pushing these streams back, and I know he goes to sleep because. Yeah. Anyway, let me move on here. Personal safety features. The personal safety app on Pixel 4 will now be available on all Pixel devices, and car crash detection is also coming to the Pixel 3. We're introducing we're introducing new safety features too, like Safety Check, which schedules a check-in from the app at a later time. So actually, I read this part. I thought it was beneficial. For example, if you're about to go on a run or hike alone, Safety Check will make sure you made it back safely. I actually like that. I think that's a good feature. Fuck, I forgot to change the screen so you guys could read along with me. I'm sorry. If you don't respond to the scheduled check-in, the app will alert your emergency contacts in the event that you need immediate help or are in a dangerous situation. Emergency sharing notifies all of your emergency contacts and shares your real-time location through Google Maps so they can send help or find you. And to be ultra prepared, you can enable crisis alerts in the personal safety app to get notifications about natural disasters or public emergencies. I haven't seen how this works, but we might as well take a look here. So it says tap crisis alert. Oh, okay. Oh, it's just to get info on it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I think that's a really good additional feature. For more information on new features that just dropped, head to the Pixel forum and blah blah blah, and we can get into that. But yeah, they all seem pretty useful. I'm excited to maybe test out that bedtime feature, maybe see if it's something that'll help me sleep properly, because it's something I've really had a hard time doing lately. I do have a couple other articles about it, but we'll talk about that in a bit. I want to go back into the stream here and just make sure I say hi to everybody. But real quick, guys, before I do, just since I'm in the interim here, guys, if you haven't already, please feel free to like the stream. Liking the stream helps me in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the stream. It helps people talk in chat, engage in the community. And if you guys are not subscribed, please feel free or consider to be a subscriber. I stream Mondays through Fridays. Around this time, Mondays through Fridays, we talk about tech. I engage in chat. We talk to, or at least we have a community, talk to everybody, see what's up. And then lastly, I will, this is my little marketing thing here, guys. If you see people in the stream who have green in their name and they have a red Chicago star next to their name, that is because they are a member of my channel. They have, not only do they get that, but they also get to use custom emoji, which is like right over here. And then on top of that, they get their names at the beginning and at the very end of every live stream that I do. And you can do so for as cheap as 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click this join button here. If you can't find that join button, you just go to youtube.com/phone Jerome/join. There are other perks as well as that, but you can look at that through the tier. Otherwise, welcome either way. Appreciate the support, even if it's just you guys coming in to say what's up, say hi. But if you want to support and be part of the squad, crew, team, community, whatever you want to call it, for Phone Jerome, which is me, I appreciate it either way. So thank you guys. All right, guys, let me go back into here. Noel says, comments, LOL, we disagreed on something about processors in Northside by Avondale. Avondale, that's, I grew up around that area, man. And yes, Pixel 4 here, checking if I got the over the air right now. Let me know. Hopkins, hey, Hopkins, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. You guys look like you're chatting in there. I just wanted to say hi, Hopkins. It's downloading on my 4XL as we speak. Hope it can give us something new since the beta show got postponed. Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's a couple new things in there, so I'm looking forward to it. Mahir says, I'm starting a protest against the one guy who disliked the stream. You coming? That's all right, man. People are gonna dislike. It's fine. I can't do shit about it. The one thing I've learned in my life now that I've gotten older is you can only control. I mean, don't worry about the things you can't control, man. I mean, but thank you for starting a protest. Thank you. You're good, man. Javier, welcome to the stream, man. How you doing? I'm a bad person. I've influenced my friend to pre-order the Xperia 1 Mark II and drop her Pixel 4. You convinced someone to spend $1,200, man? I would love to know your reasoning behind it. I actually have an article on the Xperia 1 Mark II. Mint Arcade, if he's still here, I think that's one of his. Mint Arcade DMs me on Instagram quite a bit, and a lot of the articles he tried, because he'll share articles with me that sometimes I'll end up using to do on the stream, and a lot of them are about the Xperia 1 Mark II. But wow, that's a bold recommendation. Do you have an Xperia 1 Mark II, or are you pre-ordering one? Because I'm just curious. Also, sup. Welcome to the stream, Javier. Nice to see you, man. And then again, Mint Arcade. Welcome, man. Nice to see you. Jerome with the DHL Hulkamania colors. I never thought about that. We don't have much DHL around here. I see them very few and far between. I don't need Big Brother Google to control my habits. Sorry, I'm adult. I go to sleep when I go. If it's at 4 a.m., then 4 a.m. Fair enough, Hopkins. Fair enough. All right, let me go back on here. Brian says he's the Brahma Bull being on Team Hulk Hogan. That's true, too. Krishna says, with the Pixel stand and the battery screensaver, I always have my phone beside my bed. I want to see how this bedtime feature helps. That pea-colored night mode isn't working. I don't even turn that on. Not at all. It's funny. I have a Pixel stand and I don't use it at all. I really should use it. Hopkins says, I go to bed always at night around 1 or later. I worked in cinema, so that also adds up. Yeah, I've had a really hard time sleeping lately. Deepak Murthy, welcome, man. Hi, Jerome. Hey, Deepak, how's it going? Nice to see you, man. Glad you can make it. The whale noises too, they go woo while you're also asleep. Did I say that right? Actually, I never tried the whale noises. I don't have my mini hooked up right now, so is that new? I don't remember I didn't. The whale noises are like woo Ooh, I can't. I'm like Bub Rub. Do you guys know Bub Rub? I'm going off topic here. All right, let me scroll down. I'm not going to be able to go through everything, guys. Paul Hendricks, Paul, what's going on, man? LOL. I'm not sure what we're laughing at, but Paul, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. Let me scroll down here. Let me see. Sorry. Recorder was useful for me in my class lectures. Yeah, that's a huge plus to have that in there. Definitely. Mint Arcade says Southeast Asia. That's why. Okay. I don't know. For some reason, I was saying Holland before, but it's just there are so many people from around the world here, which I love. I love the fact that like there's everyone from around the world, and I can chat with you guys. I'm humbled, to say the very least. So I appreciate you guys coming in here. Okay, let me scroll down here. Krishna, a new member. Krishna, thank you so much, man. Thank you for being a new YouTube member. Appreciate you joining the squad, crew, team, community, whatever you want to call it. Krishna, thank you so much. You are also a supporter on Patreon. Please do not feel obligated to do both. There are a couple more perks here. So again, thank you for being a new member. Every time I get new members, it gets me closer to adding a new emoji for you guys to use. So appreciate it. Krishna, thank you again so much. Thank you for the support, guys. Thank you. He says this is cool and then uses the flag emoji. I don't see it on my end with the software I use, but it is pretty cool. I love the fact that you get those perks there, especially for Chicagoans who get to use that. All right, let me scroll down here. Ed Collins downloading now. Hey Ed, welcome to the stream. I don't remember seeing you before. Let me know how it works out for you. If you guys notice anything different or anything new, I'll be putting it on my Pixel 4 whenever I get a chance. It's just sitting back there right now because the battery is dead. The battery. All right, let me move down here. Hey big bro, do you prefer face unlock or traditional fingerprint sensor or the in-display fingerprint sensor? Aaron, thank you for asking that question. So people who know me in the chat or who are on the stream, they probably know my answer right away. I am a big fan of the fingerprint reader on the rear, and not only because of that, but the Pixel 3 was my favorite fingerprint reader because it was accurate, it worked really well, but it also had the swipe down to I don't have my, well, you know what I mean. My shoulder. Fuck. Brian knows what I'm talking about. That really hurt my shoulder. I have a bum rotator cuff. So my Pixel 4, right? Remember when the fingerprint reader was in the back here, like on the Pixel 3A, or the Pixel 4A, upcoming 4A. So the fingerprint reader would be back here. But my favorite thing, oh fuck, that really hurt my shoulder, is the fact that I could scroll, like I could use it to swipe down on notifications and swipe back up. The rear fingerprint reader is my favorite. I have been using the front fingerprint reader on my Samsung Galaxy A71, on my TCL 10 Pro, and those have been okay. They're actually a lot better than I thought they would be. For both of them right here, I'm trying to put both, but I really prefer the rear fingerprint reader. I will say though, on my iPhone 11 Pro, the Face ID is really good. It's a lot better than when it first came out for the original iPhone 10. I do like that, but I still prefer the fingerprint reader. If it was up to me, I would have the technology of Face ID and I would have the rear fingerprint reader, because why not use both, right? Why not use both? Oh shit, I have new members. Wait, why does it have you? No, it's not. Just once. Mahir, anyway, Aaron, thanks for the question. Appreciate it. Mahir, Pandhara Pande. If I said that right, Mahir, I'll just say Mahir. Mahir, thank you so much. Thank you for being a new member. God, thank you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Mahir, welcome to Team Phone Jerome Squad, Phone Jerome, whatever you guys want to call it. Team community. Appreciate it, Mahira. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Glad to have you on. Feel free to enjoy using the whatever, the emoji, having your name in there, and then you guys will have your name at the beginning, at the end of the streams starting tomorrow. For people who super chatted, you guys will be in there as well. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for the support, Mahir. Thank you for being part of the whatever you guys want to call it. I don't know what to call it. There's so many words for it. But me here, thank you. Okay, let me scroll back up. Let me make sure I am not missing people. Where did I leave off here? Aaron asked me the question. Deepak says, I also got the Pixel stand, hardly use it. Unfortunately, I'm the same way. I don't really use it. G-Boy 888, what's up from Long Beach? What's up? What's going on? I miss Long Beach. For you guys that don't know, I moved. So even though I'm from Chicago and I'm back in Chicago, I lived in Long Beach for about 9 months, 8-9 months. I lived in Long Beach. I lived in Southern California, and it was a good stint there. I actually didn't plan to move back to Chicago anytime soon, but work didn't work out the way that I had planned, and it brought me back to Chicago. But I do miss Long Beach. I miss a lot of I miss being able to ride my moped, my scooter. God, why am I'm already forgetting what roads that I would ride it down. Why am I forgetting? Holy shit. Anyway, along the coastline. Why am I forgetting, G-Boy? I don't. Anyway, welcome, man. God, it kind of makes me reminisce. I kind of miss Southern Cali a bit. Anyway, G-Boy 888, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Glad you can make it. Ed says greetings from Germany. Well, thank you, man. Greetings from Chicago. Glad you can make it. And yeah, Deepak, I'm from Italy. It's dinner time out here, so it's like prime time, right? Italy is one of those places I would love to travel to. I have never been to Europe. Actually, just FYI for you guys, since like we're talking chat and tech and whatever, in 2020, my plan was to go to Japan. I was going to go with a couple of friends, and now that's not going to happen because of everything. But one of these days I would like to travel again when it becomes safe to. Okay, let me move on, guys. Let me scroll down here. Okay, Deepak says rear are much better in my opinion. I agree. Frame drop. Hey, Frame drop. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. I don't think I've seen you here before either. Yeah, fingerprint scanner swipe down is great, especially the XL one. I agree, man. I miss that rear fingerprint reader. Nandu Vasanth. Hey, Nandu, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Is there any new news about Google's new custom chip? Nope, not that I've seen. From what I know, they're still working on it. Nobody knows. All we know at this point is they're working on a new custom chip, and it might come out for the Google Pixel 6. If that happens, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Nandu, appreciate you stopping by, though. Team Verizon says, really love fingerprint scanners, especially the rear-mounted ones. Agree. Ocean Boulevard. Why? How am I forgetting already? Yeah, I would always ride. So I know this is separate topic here, but I lived by Belmont Shore, G-Boy 888, and then I worked downtown, so I'd always ride it up and down Ocean all the time. It was great. Okay, Deepak Murthy says Apple's Face ID is excellent without a mask. Weird times we are in. Yeah, it's so funny every time because my iPhone 11 Pro is still my main, my daily driver, and every time I have to go to the store, I always pull it out because like right now in the situation I'm in, I'm living with my mom, and some of her brothers and sisters live here as well. All elderly at this point, and I run errands for them. I go grocery shopping for them just so they don't have to go out, trying to like protect them, right? And like hopefully I don't catch anything either. But my uncle always buys random things, and so sometimes when I'm walking around and I pull my iPhone out, I'm glad the update came out where now it just lets you put the passcode in quicker, but I always have my face mask on, so it never lets me get into and I always forget. I'm like, God damn it. So anyway, yeah. So long. Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Hi, Jerome. Hope you're staying safe out there. Trying to be. Salwonk, I was saying earlier, I really wanted to go to the protests and stuff in Chicago, and I just haven't had a chance. I'm a big political person, and I'm a big progressive person that always wants to fight for this city. And I really wanted to do that, and I didn't have the chance because I'm trying to stay safe. If I was living by myself, I would have done it, because at this point, especially to go to the protests, at one point I was like, fuck it, I don't care if I get it, if I get coronavirus, but I can't do that. Not with my mom at home. The last person I want to get sick. Anyway, Anyway, Salwan, welcome to the stream. I know, guys, I have a ton of stuff that's going through my head. It was I took the weekend off. For the most part, I took the weekend off. I was supposed to have a camera comparison video out. It's just so much shit happened, and my head was all over the place. So, anyway, Nandu says, change the 2020 plan, come to India. I would love to visit India. I'd love to travel all over the world, man. The last place I traveled really that was far away was the Philippines. And I haven't been to the Philippines in decades. And I would love to go back to the Philippines. There's a ton of places I'd love to go. I would come to India if I could. I totally would. iPhone Face ID versus Pixel 4 Face ID, which is the best one? Face ID easily. I mean, let's not forget when the Pixel 4 came out, Face Unlock was able to unlock your face with your eyes closed. And that was a huge safety issue. Face ID, in my experience, does it better. Not to mention the fact the third-party apps that work with it. Face Unlock with the Pixel 4, I still can't unlock my Chase app with it or my Capital One app. I still have to put a password in. Like that's not convenient at all. Face ID on the iPhone, I can still unlock all that. So is that Google's fault? I mean, I don't really know the behind the scenes. But I think third-party apps were just like, well, why are we that's not safe. Unlocking the phone with having your eyes closed, that's not safe. We're not gonna, we're not gonna mess with that. Anyway, Face ID, yes, is my answer there. Krishna says, please bring back the iris scanners. We need them right now with these masks and gloves. That's something that Brian, I believe, has been talking about for a while. He's been preaching that. I actually have never used the iris scanners, so I don't know how good they are. But yeah, from what I remember, I think Brian was preaching that for a while. Aaron says, I never knew masks were so important. Maybe because I'm from Kerala. Are the numbers there different? I'm not aware, and that's my ignorance showing. I don't know. But they're pretty important here now. I'm lucky. My mom's found a new hobby. She makes masks all day, all different kinds, and she's making them all fashionable at this point. India. Yeah, I was gonna say Kerala, India. I gotcha. Oh damn, would love to hear where in the Philippines you toured. We live 10 minutes away from the beach. Team Varai, I was a kid. That's how long it's been. I mean, honestly, it's been a long time. I don't. So like, just FYI, my mom grew up in the province of Candelaria. I'm not even really familiar with the area. My dad's passed away now, but my dad used to live in the rich area. He lived where the president lives. That's all I remember. I don't really know. You know what? When I find out, I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. Deepak says Face ID is far better, especially it's much more reliable. I agree. So, okay, guys, let's move on. So I do have a couple other Pixel things here, but this is again just more about what we read, personal safety, having safety check on it. But here's another thing. This is about Android 11. So we're still talking about Pixels. We're going to get into Android 11. And this article from The Verge talked about the power button. And so it says here, Android 11's power button menu leaks showing new smart home quick control. So I haven't read this article yet. I have no idea what they're showing in here. So we'll learn together, guys. A quicker way to control your smart lights. Oh, okay. But I have smart lights and I just use my Google Mini and I just tell it to turn it off, but we'll see. Images from leaked developer documentation have just given us our best look at Android 11's new power button menu. The menu can include a series of new smart home shortcuts called, quote, quick controls, which can control everything from smart lights to locks and thermostats, alongside payment options and the standard, quote, power off and, quote, restart buttons. The images were tweeted by Michal Rahman from XDA Developers, who credits Twitter user DeleteScape as the source of the leaked documents containing the images. We've known about these shortcuts since at least March, when XDA developers reported on their existence. But these latest screenshots give us a better idea of how the overall menu will look. The existing power off, restart, screenshot, and emergency buttons have been relocated to the top of the screen above a shortcut to Google Pay, similar to the one that was added to the Google Pixel back in March. Okay, so this is it. Here's what Android 11's power menu will look like with home automation, Internet of Things shortcuts, and quick wallet access. That sounds like a lot of stuff. Okay, so when you hold the power button down, you get power, lockdown, emergency. What is this? Oh, okay, credit cards. And it says hold near terminal, but it looks like you can pick other credit cards as well. That's kind of cool. Another image shows that live camera feeds can be shown here, though I bet it will only refresh very, very slowly or on demand whenever the controls populates. So what is this? Is this below the credit cards? Oh, okay. So it's to turn off. That's kind of cool. Lights, doors, the blinds. The bulk of the screen, however, is taken up with these smart home controls. Android Police reports that tapping each of them will reportedly toggle the corresponding smart home gadget on or off, and long presses will either give you more options or take you directly to the relevant smart home app. As Raman notes, one of the images shows that a smart home camera feed could even be embedded directly into this menu. Google was due to officially unveil Android 11 on June 3rd, but it decided to delay the announcement over the weekend. It's currently unclear when the event will be rescheduled. So, I mean, it's cool. The thing is, I always see Google try to redo this, and I can't remember. I don't use it often. I don't hold the power button down often, but it's cool to show that it it shows you if you want to switch credit cards, right? Because I think you can only set one at the moment, right, as default, and then you have to go into the settings to really change it up if you want to. So that's nice to see at least. So yeah, that's it. Not a ton of news about that. Not something to really go into it, but yeah. Okay, so let me go back into chat here. Selwong, I haven't been to the Philippines since I was 15. Are you Filipino? Did we discuss this? I think we might have, and I'm just forgetting. I always lose track. But yeah, I was younger than that even before, since the last time I've gone. It's been a while. Christian saying Kerala, India. Okay, I gotcha. Has been the most successful state in India in containing the Rona so far. Oh, that's true. You know what? I remember reading an article about, because they're talking about how many, right? There's billions of people that live in India, but the number is so low there. And I just think that they've been really making sure that they've been keeping people safe, or they're really just keeping people locked down tight to make sure it doesn't spread. Deepak is asking me, do you speak Filipino or Tagalog? So it's funny, I don't speak Tagalog, but I understand it fluently. When my mom talks to me, so my mom speaks English fluently as well, but my mom, when she talks to me, she only talks to me in Tagalog. She's been talking to me in Tagalog since I was a kid, or my whole life. And so I think because of that, that's why I understand the language so well. And it always bothers me that I can't speak it back. So my aunts, my uncles, they all speak to me in Tagalog, but for some reason, I can't speak back in Tagalog. And actually, I started watching a couple videos on YouTube since I've been home, and I've been trying to give myself 20 or 30 minutes a day to learn Tagalog, to properly speak it. Such a weird thing that I can completely understand it fluently. I can sit and watch the Filipino channel with my mom and my uncle or aunt, and I can understand everything that goes on, but I can't speak a lick of it. I know some words here and there, but for the most part, no. I don't speak it, but I can understand it. Anyway, Team Fry says, really hope 11 is stable for the most part when it gets released. Looking forward to the new features. I agree. Krishna says, good Lord, the power buttons move back to the top again. I know. That's what I'm saying. They keep changing it around. Does Google think we have Mr. Fantastic thumbs? That's actually a really good point. That's a good point. I wasn't even thinking about that. From that power button, I think we should move to iOS. Selwong says, I understand some Tagalog, and I reply back in English. I do the same thing. I do exactly the same thing. Okay, let's move on. And actually, what I want to do right now is I want to talk to you guys about the A71. And the reason I want to talk about the A71 is I want to segue from the A71 into the Pixel 4a. So for you guys that don't know, and I'll say it again, the reason I bought this the reason I bought this Pixel A71 is because, well, for one, this thing was super cheap. If you guys don't know, I bought this A71 for $365 on Amazon. This is the international version, but it works for T-Mobile, it works for AT&T, and it's actually been it's kind of been a delight to use, which is such a weird word for me to say, but I've been pretty happy using it. This is a big phone. This is it's a big phone. If I compare it, oh, my Pixel is on. I thought the battery died. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, it's also dusty. So if I'm unlocking both, give me a second. God damn it. There's so many things open. Okay. This is the size of the A71 next to the Google Pixel 4. This is a big fucking phone. And here's the thing. My TCL 10 Pro that TCL gave me, this is a big phone too. And they're very comparable in size, but as far as like lengthwise, but the A71 is a much wider phone. But this A71 is cheap at $365. It has a Snapdragon 730 chipset, which is going to be the same chipset in the Pixel 4a. It has 6 gigs of RAM. It has 128 gigs of internal storage. It has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack at the bottom. What else am I missing here? The build quality is actually really nice. I think the color looks good. The cameras I still have to get into, so I can't give you my opinions on that yet, but it is a solid feeling phone. I was using this phone exclusively last night, and I mean, I've been using it exclusively in general. The fingerprint reader is not bad. So it's also an in-display fingerprint reader. It's not the best, but it's accurate, and you just got to make sure your thumb is where it needs to be. It only has one speaker, but the sound is pretty good. And here's the thing. So I am not a heavy-handed user when it comes to phones. Yes, I have a lot of phones. Yes, I am on my phone all the time, but I don't multitask. I don't video edit. I don't game on my phone. I will tell you what I use. I use a lot of Twitter. I use a lot of YouTube. I take a lot of pictures. I'll send video. I'll record video. I'm on Chrome a lot. You know, I'll use maps if I'm out. I'm like looking through my stuff now. Lately I've been on eBay a lot. You know, I check my banking stuff. I use Twitch, Discord, read news. I guess in a way they sound really basic, right? The only time I've seen this phone lag so far on me is when I first got the phone and I went to the Play Store and I tried downloading like 8-10 apps at the same time. Other than that, it's been pretty good. Here's the thing is I decided at first I put Nova Launcher on because the one thing that upsets me is the fact that so when I open the app drawer, it doesn't have the typical scroll up to get all the apps. It has the goddamn Samsung one where I have to go left and right, which is fucking annoying. But I decided to spend a little time and get used to it. Oh, the fact too that I don't have Discover, right? I can't swipe right to get like my Google feed, my Google Discovery page. So that's annoying too. And all of that can be fixed though, right? All of that can be fixed in Nova. But here's the thing. The reason I got rid of Nova was I wanted to try the Samsung One UI, and it's not bad. It isn't bad. Other than the app drawer thing, that's really the only thing that's been bothering me. Well, emojis bother me too. I don't like the fact that Samsung has their own emoji. That's a nitpicky thing, right? But because I've been using the emoji on the Pixel 4 for so long now, the fact that the only Android phone that I've really been using so far has been the Pixel 4 since like October, right? October-ish. And then switching to use a different kind of emoji is annoying. I wish I could use the emoji on the stock Google emoji. But other than that, the A71 is a pretty solid phone. Here's the thing. It actually gives me hope. It gives me hope that the Pixel 4a is going to do pretty well. It makes me excited to use a Pixel 4a. Am I going to keep this A71? Probably not, unless the camera really impresses me. I don't think I'm going to keep it. Maybe. I don't know. This is not a bad phone, guys. If somebody here's my recommendation. If you know somebody who wants to spend less than $400 on a phone that wants a big screen, a big display, that's going to use it for multimedia, that still wants a 3.5mm headphone jack, that has a lot of storage, and that's looking for a price point, again, under $400, it is not a bad phone. Now, if they're a gamer, if they're a really heavy user, if they are going to be editing video, I mean, I don't know. Then yeah, maybe something to hold off on. That's maybe when a 800 series chipset might be the better buy, but it's not bad. And it actually gives me hope for the Pixel 4a. With that being said, I do want to talk about this TCL 10 Pro, because I still haven't given this its proper shot. I also ended up uninstalling Nova Launcher just to give it the stock experience again. And thankfully, this one, when I scroll up to get all of the apps, I can just scroll up and down, right? I don't have to scroll left and right. And surprisingly, the TCL 10 Pro also, this doesn't have a Snapdragon 730. This has a Snapdragon 675. So it's a lower chipset, but it still performs really well. This one will hiccup from time to time, but it's not so bad. And I think when I notice the hiccup is when I'm on Chrome, and it might be when I'm scrolling through a heavy web page. But other than that, it's been pretty fluid, surprisingly fluid. The build quality is better on the TCL 10 Pro than the Galaxy A71. But this phone is also $450. I have shot the camera on it. Again, this is a camera comparison that I need to bring out. Guys, I hate to say it. It's just, this weekend was shitty. Like, with the riots going on and everything going on, and like, the way I put it is like, I love Chicago. This is my city. I work with a news organization where we give people in the city of Chicago a platform to talk when they don't have one. We give a voice to the voiceless, right? And I'm always in the city trying to help. Like, the guys I work with, they're great guys, and they're always trying to expose corruption. And that's something that, like, I love being a part of. And it hurt me not being able to go down to the protests and being able to fight and do that kind of stuff. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. And so that's what I meant. I didn't get to work on the camera comparisons because it was a rough weekend. So anyway, yeah. I know I went off topic. The A71 is not a bad buy for $365. I think it's a great price. The TCL 10 Pro is a harder sell for me because of its $450 price point. The cameras are, I have to really dig into the cameras, but so far they do saturate quite a bit. Portrait mode, I didn't have the best success with, but I'll get into that when I do my camera comparison. Hopefully I'll get some time to work on it today, but we'll see. So yeah, otherwise it's not bad. Again, it gives me hopes for the Pixel 4a whenever that's going to come. God, I don't know. I really don't know. So, okay, let me get back into chat. Let me scroll up here. I see a good amount of people coming in. I will say hi to everybody that I have not said hi to, so give me a second. Hopkins says, my Nexus 5X just froze. Firstly, volume buttons did not work. Then touch was not reacting. Then the stream stopped, but content froze with the status bar. I had to completely restart the phone. That sucks. God, you're still on a Nexus 5X? Props to you, man. I don't know if we talked about that before. If you mentioned your Nexus 5X, you might have, but that sucks. Hopefully you got that figured out. Hopefully it's good now. Team Variety, Jerome, given you're a big stock fan, do you use a custom look for the A71 or stick with Samsung's default UI? So right now. Right now I'm sticking with Samsung's default UI, but the first thing I usually do, I throw Nova Launcher on it, then I throw Nova Launcher Companion or Nova Launcher's Companion, so I get Google Discovery, and then to get gestures, I downloaded, and this was from Brian. So thanks, Brian, for sharing that. There's an app called Fluid Navigation Gestures, or FNG, that will give me those gestures. And but I installed all of that. And actually, what I did is I completely wiped the phones again just to give it a fresh start, just to see how well the chipset actually does on a stock skin. But Samsung One UI is not bad. It's not bad. I disabled a lot of apps. I uninstalled a lot of apps, and actually I ended up hiding those apps too. I disabled Bixby, and it's good that they let you disable that from holding the power button. But yeah, it's not bad. I am more of a stock person. I have been a stock person for a while, but it's not bad. It can be stock enough where I'm okay with it. I don't know if there's a fix to fix Samsung's emoji, which I cannot stand, but otherwise it's it's not bad so far. It is actually a phone I could recommend to somebody if they were looking for a phone under $400 that wants a big display and uses media as their primary priority or their primary use. If they want a big display and they want to consume media content, the camera I'm going to have to test, but I'll give you guys an idea of once I get a chance to test that. Mint Arcade says never liked the button interface where volume and power is on the same side. So that's something that I try to get accustomed to, but yeah, you know what? I think on what is it, the TCL 10 Pro? The TCL 10 Pro has it swapped where the power button is, I think on the TCL 10 Pro, it makes more sense to have the power button at the bottom, lower than the volume rockers, because on the Pixel 4, the power button is on the top, and then the volume rockers, well, I don't know. I guess there are like pros and cons, but I hear you, Mint Arcade. I mean, you know, the iPhone is where they have it separate on other sides. But I hear you. Andrew KPW. Hey, everyone. Hey, Andrew KPW. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Nice to see you. Guys, I just have to give Andrew KPW a shout out because on Friday he gave a huge donation in Super Chat. And I just want to thank you again, Andrew KPW. Thank you so much. Thank you for that support. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Glad you can make it. Mince Arcade says pressing volume down and power for screenshot is it's inconvenient. I hear you, man. I hear you. Andrew KPW also says A71 is a good device. I'm pleasantly surprised. Like for the price point, I think it's pretty good. I really think it is. I think it's not a bad device at all. I had the A70 last year. I liked it a lot, but the fingerprint was super slow and annoying. And you know what? That's a fair enough statement. And let me ask you, Deepak, is the A71 fingerprint reader the same on the A70? Because I think it could be. I haven't used the A71 enough to really walk around with it, go to the store with it, use it on a daily basis to turn the fingerprint reader on and off and on and off and on and off. So if it is the same, I would probably feel the same way. I just haven't had the chance to really use it, which is why like I just wish that the fingerprint reader wasn't on the front if they haven't fixed that issue yet. And I think that's one of Samsung's sore spots, right? Apparently what is the Note 20 going to fix that? Are they going to have a better fingerprint sensor than what the S20 has? Because if I remember correctly, that's what people have been bitching about. The fingerprint reader hasn't been good on any of these, or the in-display fingerprint reader hasn't been good on any of these Samsung phones as of late. So I don't know. Okay, let me scroll down here, guys. Andrew KPW also says Oxygen OS is the best Android skin. I cannot disagree with you there. Juan Carlos Montez. Juan Carlos, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. How about network connectivity with the A71? So here's the thing is I only started using it and I haven't really gone, it's because I'm stuck at home. I really haven't gone much of anywhere to really use the A71 out and about. So I will give you a better idea of it. Actually, I'm going out today. I'm breaking my fast today. For you guys that don't know, I fast. So I only eat every couple days. And so today I'm going to the store to buy food and run errands and stuff. So I'll let you know how the network connectivity is. I know I'm going to a couple places, but just going out once with it isn't enough. But I mean, ask again, or I'll give an update if you're back tomorrow, and I'll let you know. So I can't. And just FYI, I'm on T-Mobile, so if that bears any kind of like help for you, I'll keep you posted though. If you do come, if you're on tomorrow, let me know, Juan Carlos, and I'll keep you updated. But welcome to the stream. Nice to see you, man. Appreciate it. Krishna says that Bixby screen on the left is a nightmare to use, very less feed-like and too many ads. So Krishna, I don't know if you know this. Well, yeah, I'm sure you know this, but I mean, I disabled it. I disabled it completely. No Bixby anything, but I can't customize it, right? So I can't go to the left screen and get my Google Discovery, which is annoying, which is why Nova makes so much more sense to throw on there. But again, I'm trying to live with what Samsung is giving me. So I'm testing it out. And just because I say I'm trying to live with what Samsung's giving me doesn't mean I'm going to try to live with Bixby, because I'm not using Bixby at all. I'm not going to try it at all. Okay. Again, guys, I'm not going to be able to go through all the chats, but I appreciate you guys talking. Appreciate you guys having a chat with each other. Yeah, Deepak says, why can't it be customized by the user? Come on, Samsung. I agree. Let me scroll down here. I see Grant in here. Grant made it. Hi, everyone. Hey, Grant, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Glad you could make it. Nice to see you. I know you're probably working, so always nice to have you come in and stop by. If you just made it, I pretty much talked about all the Android 11 stuff already, how they're postponing the beta launch, and then the new Pixel feature drop that's coming. But Grant, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it, man. All right, let me scroll down here. I see Hitcham. Am I saying that right? Hitcham Hall. Hi. Hey, Hitcham. How's it going? I don't remember if I've seen you in here before, but if I have not, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. If I have said hi to you before, I apologize. I try to remember everybody, but it's hard. I can't do that with everyone. Okay, so Mint Arcade says try ADB debloat. I'll look into that. Actually, I wasn't even aware of that. I'll take a look at that. Thank you for sharing that, Mint Arcade. I'll take a look. Okay. Unless you were talking to someone else, but either way, I'm going to Google that later because I wasn't even aware of what that is. RSILINYC says, I'm sure if you root the Samsung, you could change the emojis, but me personally, I'll wait for stock Android with the Pixel because I can't stand the UI. I mean, that's why I'm a Pixel guy, right? That's why I've been a Pixel guy for so long. It's just hard for me to use anything but stock Android. Master K74, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Nice to see you. Hey there, longtime Android user and have really been considering switching to iPhone. Haven't touched iOS since iOS 5. What are your thoughts? Wait until the iPhone 12. So the first thing I will say is yes. Whether you are going to switch over to iOS, regardless, if you decide you want to switch today and you have time, I would say wait for the iPhone 12. The iPhone 12, especially if you want to get the iPhone 12 instead of the Pro, the 12 is going to be cheaper. The rumors are it's going to be priced at $650. You're going to get a better display. It's going to have an OLED display this time for $650. Obviously, you're going to have a better processor. They're going to throw the A14 Bionic chip in there. You're most likely going to have a better camera, even though the 11 Pro even though the iPhone 11 has a great camera already in it, it's probably going to have a better battery. I would wait. And if you can still, no, the iPhone 12 is going to be postponed anyway. It's going to be coming out later. It's probably going to be coming around the same time as the Pixel 5. And in that case, you might also want to wait for the Pixel 5 unless you don't want a Snapdragon 700 chipset, because more than likely it's going to be coming with that 765 chipset or 768. I'm thinking 765. But if you haven't touched iOS since iOS 5, it's pretty similar. You still, all the apps, you can't move it. Like it's, the UI is pretty much the same. The notifications aren't the greatest. I don't have the nicest things to say about Apple's UI. I wish they could do better. So don't expect much out of the UI. That is the big hiccup I have with it. But other than that, Apple, the iPhone is still going to be a solid phone. What are you using right now? Feel free to share. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go through it all or whatever, but appreciate you making the chat. Thank you, Master K74. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for making a comment or asking a question. Always glad to help when I can. Ninja K says Samsung uses sonic fingerprint sensor scanner instead of light, right? I think so. I don't know the tech behind it. I'm sure somebody in chat will help you with that. I'm not exactly the same. Will says, LOL, it's the same. You're talking about iOS, right? Are you talking about iOS or are you talking about something else? I know how Will thinks because Will and I talk a bit. So he's either talking about iOS or he's talking about his frustrations with Google. So it's one or the other. Hopkins says, my Nexus is a good showcase that old Google phones cannot cope with the latest apps anymore. Yeah, that just proves to me that Google is not on par with Apple on software. And Hopkins, that's a great point, man. That is a great point. And that's a good way to share how Google is when it comes to their efficiency, their optimization, when it comes to older hardware, especially knowing the fact that Apple's hardware 4 or 5 years down the road is still usable. I hate to say it. And maybe when they make their chip, their custom chip, if that ever becomes a thing, maybe that's what's going to fix it. But who knows? Who knows if there's even going to be a Pixel 6 in the future? I have no idea. Okay. Yeah. So Deepak says Samsung uses ultrasonic fingerprint. Most Chinese brand use optical fingerprint readers. Okay. Yeah. Will saying iOS. Okay. Let me move down here. Master K74, thanks. Currently using the OnePlus 6T. Yeah, I have one back here as well. I would reach for it, but I probably fuck up my shoulder again, so I'm not going to. Brian says the A71 uses optical sensors. Will says the potato chip. What for Google? For the Pixel? Yeah, the potato chip. Osterlo will announce it. Okay. All right, guys, let's move on. So yeah, so you guys know. So then just a frame of reference on how I feel about the A71. It's not a bad phone. It really isn't. If you don't care, or if you know someone who's looking for a phone under $400, I don't think it's a bad buy for a new phone, especially. And especially if they don't care about stock Android. It's weird to say that right now on this A71, it's weird to say that my issue with it is not the performance, because I think the performance is actually pretty decent. My issue with it is the emoji. That's my biggest issue with it right now, is I do not like Samsung's emoji. And that's the only thing that I really have a negative thing to say. The Snapdragon 730 is actually surprising how well it works in terms of performance. Pleasantly surprised, which is just something that I thought I would never. I really didn't think I was gonna say that. It makes me look forward to the Pixel 4a. It makes me excited to use it. We'll see when it comes out. Okay, guys, before I switch off and get into the next story, real quick, guys, if you are just coming in or if you haven't had a chance, please feel free to like the stream. Liking the stream helps me in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the chat, or it helps people find the stream. It helps people like talk in the stream, engage, have a chat, have a conversation. And that, with that being said, I do stream Mondays through Fridays at around this time. We talk for an hour about in chat, on stream, talking about tech, talking about whatever's going on. So if you haven't subscribed already, please feel free to be a subscriber. And again, if you are looking in chat and you see people with green in their name, that is because they are a member of this channel. And you can be a member too for as little as 99 cents a month. Really, guys, To be a member, you'll get that green in your name. You'll get to use, you'll have a red Chicago star next to your name. Those are the perks, but you also get to use custom emoji. And the more members I get, it gives me the opportunity to add more emoji. That's kind of how it works. Again, you could do all of that for 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click the join button, or if you cannot find that join button, you can just go to youtube.com/phone Jerome /join. Guys, I mean, if anything, it's just a way to support me. 99 cents a month is the cheapest that you can do it at. I think that's the cheapest it sets it at, and that's why I set it there, because I was just, any support is helpful. It helps pay for just the streaming software and like the music licensing and all that kind of shit. Anyway, just leaving that little spiel there, just my little marketing thing. So I'll leave it at that. So we'll go ahead and we'll continue on with the next story. I need to mention, just in case, again, I know not everybody can do it, especially in these times. So for you guys just to even be in here to chat, engage, I'm not trying to guilt trip anyone. So please don't think so. Just your support, you guys coming in to say hi every day, say what's up, engage in chat, be part of the community, is also more than enough. If that's where your level is, like, that's perfectly fine too. So please don't feel obligated, because there's no obligation. And I'll always talk about the news, and we'll always have this, and whatever. So let's move on. Let's talk about the ZTE. I know there are a couple of people here who are Zte Axon fans. I have never owned one of these phones, but I've heard some good things about them. And like, feel free to chime in, because I don't know much about these phones, but this article from 9to5 Google is talking about how the Zte Axon 11 SE 5G, god damn, that's such a long name for a fucking phone. The Zte Axon 11 SE 5G. Why does it have to? Okay, so the Zte Axon 11 SE 5G is going official, guys. I'm trying to be proper here. In China, with MediaTek Dimensity 800 CPU and more. For you guys that are not aware, the MediaTek Dimensity 800 chipset is supposed to be similar to the mid-range chipset for Qualcomm. It's supposed to be, I think, it's supposed to be on par with the with the Snapdragon 765G, which is going to be the chipset that you're going to be finding in the Pixel 5, which is the current chipset that is in the LG Velvet, which might be the chipset for the OnePlus Z, the Poco phone F2, maybe, and then the upcoming Motorola Razr 2, amongst a bunch of other phones. The 765G chipset is being used in a bunch of phones because it has 5G in it, because even though other manufacturers could just get a faster chipset, like the goddamn Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset, they won't, because they want to give 5G to everyone, because apparently 5G is God's gift to network connectivity, and it isn't, because it's not even ready yet. And I don't want to bitch about it again, because all I do is bitch about 5G all day. Anyway, the Zte Axon 11 SE 5G. Here it is, guys. And I don't know if it's only going to be made for, or if, I don't know if it's only going to be available for people in China, which is upsetting, because a lot of these phones are much cheaper than what we can get in the States, and I wish we had access to them, but we'll see. So the Zte Axon 11 SE 5G has now gone official in China, with the device being the first to come with the MediaTek Dimensity 800 chipset. Not only is the name a mouthful, I'm glad they pointed it out, because it's a goddamn mouthful. It takes a few design cues from a few previously seen smartphones, but with a price tag that comes in under $300. See, again, such a cheap price point. Which makes me like, I just need to talk about this really quick. This phone that is going to have this Dimensity 800, again, I don't know everything about this Dimensity 800 chipset, but if it's going to be comparable to a Snapdragon 765G for under $300, and the LG Velvet is pricing at $700 with a Snapdragon 765 that's supposed to be comparable, why is the LG Velvet more than double the price of what this is going to come out to? That is what bothers me. That's the shit I don't understand. we don't know what the price for this LG. Well, so the LG Velvet got priced at around $725 US in South Korea, I believe. And now they're announcing that it's going to be coming out to Europe, and then it's probably going to be coming to the US shortly. Is it going to be priced at $700? Because that's a fucking outrage. Like, that is so, I would never recommend anybody to buy that phone for $700. There are so many better options. Unless the camera on that phone, unless the camera on the LG Velvet apparently surpasses the iPhone 11 Pro, but we know that's not going to happen. I think I just talked about how the LG Velvet isn't even going to have the quad DAC. So it's not even going to have superior audio. So what are you buying that phone for? Because it has a pretty color? Because it looks nice? No, there's more to a phone than that. So don't, if that LG Velvet price is at $700, don't buy it. There's so many better options. So many better options. Unless your priority is pretty colors, and I don't think that's everyone's priority. But yeah, otherwise I would not recommend it. Okay, anyway, so the headline inclusion in the Zte Axon 11 SE 5G is that of the 5G enabled MediaTek 800 chipset. On paper, this is comparable, okay, so yeah, they are talking about it, to the Snapdragon 765G, which will come in many late 2020 mid-range smartphones. You may be thinking, isn't this the same as the one comment? What's the one comment? What's the one comment? Oh, I don't know. I'm still lost. Anyway, well, not quite. The chipset is the biggest change, but the flat FHD plus LCD display also includes a punch hole notch rather than a dewdrop cutout. The rest of the specs, okay, let's get into the rest of the specs. 4,000 milliamp hour battery, 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, 128 or 256 gigs of internal storage. So again, the specs are there, right? Heavy specs. At the rear, it has a quad camera setup, 48 megapixel main sensor, 8 megapixel ultra wide lens, dual 2 megapixel macro and depth sensors at the front. The upper left punch hole notch houses a 16 megapixel selfie camera. We're not sure if the ZTE Axon 11 SE 5G will be available outside of China, which is unfortunate, but is available in blue and pearl. It's like, it might not be available outside of China, but it's going to come in blue and pearl, guys. So it's okay. I'm not, they just worded it weird. It's already on sale, priced at $280 for the 6 gig and 128 gig model, and $321 for the 8 gig, 300 and so under $400. So the same price. Actually, yeah. So it has a better chipset than my Galaxy A71. And for $365, the same price point, it comes with 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of internal storage. That's pretty good. But again, a lot of people in chat have brought this up before, and they make a good point, is what about the support? How good is the support going to be? Are you going to be able to mod it? So I'll be honest with you. The only reason I would even consider a phone like this is because of the specs. Not because of the specs, because of the price to specs ratio, right? The price justifies the specs, but if I am not able to customize it, if I can't ROM it, then I wouldn't want it. That's how I feel about it. Which is why, like I've mentioned to people who have watched my streams in the past, I was looking at that Xiaomi, I'm already forgetting, the Xiaomi Mi 9T, because I know that you can throw the Pixel Experience ROM on there. That's really, and it has a selfie pop-up camera. Those are the two reasons and the fact that you can get it for under $300 if you get the 64 gigs of storage one. You can get it for $265, which is super cheap. But anyway, that's how I feel about it. Let me get back into chat. Let me see what's going on here. Let me scroll up. Sorry. And again, I won't be able to go through all chat, guys. So I just want to, I'll go through a couple. So I see, who did I miss here? Did I miss shit? Sorry. Marcus. I see Marcus. They use ultrasonic. Hey, Marcus, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Nice to see you. And he's asking, do you think Google will rebrand Pixel with a switch to Flutter as their main OS? Actually, I don't know anything about that. I have no idea. So somebody educate me, educate the stream, educate the chat, because I have no idea. But Marcus, thank you for stopping by. It makes me feel ignorant because now I have to research it. Oh, okay. So with fuchsia. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be I don't know if they're gonna be switching anytime soon. Will says someone messed up and hit the thumbs down by mistake. Yeah, I don't know. It's again, Will, people are gonna, I can't control that shit. People are gonna do what they're gonna do. So Hopkins says Google custom chip would make me really excited. Me too. I would look forward to it. It would be nice to see Apple have some competition if Google is actually able to create something that is going to be comparable, that's going to be as efficient, superior than Qualcomm, and knock it out of the park. Whether that happens or not, we can only cross our fingers at this point. Grant says, I don't know, at least the Samsung emoji aren't the blobs they used to be. Fair enough. Are we making fun of yeah, we are. We're making fun of the gumdrops? Is that what we're doing right now? Do you know I actually like the gumdrop emoji? I was sad when they got rid of it. Let me see here. Krishna says Google custom Exynos chips can really make a huge difference if they implement it in the right way. And that's the big question, is if they're going to implement it in the right way. Too bad Exynos chips are not that good lately. I know we've been seeing so much negative press on those Exynos chips. And it's a shame. I mean, right? Wasn't there a petition even? They're getting sued or whatever. I don't know. What am I missing here? Zte Axon 11 SE 5G and Knuckles. Are we talking about Sonic here? Is this because it's like the title of a sequel or something? Krishna says ZTE Axon 7 was a one-hit wonder and ZTE hasn't been that great since then. Oh, that's good to know. I wasn't sure. I know everyone talked about that Axon 7. Also, what's up with that name? I thought bad names were a Sony only thing. Marcus says they have been hiring for it and slowly working towards it. Yeah, again, who knows? I mean, the thing about Google is they're always working on something. And I think that's the thing, is because they're always working on something, I just don't know what to trust at this point. To see them have something and then get rid of it and then create something new, it really gives me a hard time to put faith in what they're doing. That's my only gripe. Gary, holy shit. I have seen you, Gary. I've seen you come in here once or twice, but to see you come in here, it's nice to have you back, Gary. Yo, what is up? Where the hell am I? I don't know. How'd you get here, Gary? Gary, nice to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. For you guys that don't know Gary is a frequent visitor on Friday Night Tech Talk, which I get to come by once in a while. If you guys missed Friday Night Tech Talk last Friday, it was a lot of fun. You guys would just have to watch it. It was a lot of fun. Will and I were on it, and Ted was on it, and it was a fun stream. All right, let me go back in here. Grant says that Qualcomm tax. Fuck that Qualcomm tax. Tired of Qualcomm with their bullshit. Yeah, Gary says ZTE $700. Nah, I'm good. Well, not this one. No. This ZTE is 365 for the 8 gig 256. I was talking about LG, the LG Velvet for $700. Yeah, I'm good too. I wouldn't spend the money. Not at all. Okay. What am I missing here? Sorry guys. Again, I'm not going to be able to go through everything. Let me just come down here. I love that Hopkins is talking about LG appliances, because if there's something that Will loves to make fun of, it's Will loves to make fun of LG, saying Will always has this comment that says, yeah, buy an LG phone and you'll get a free fridge with it, or a free TV or whatever along with it. Okay, let me scroll down here. Nabil Am I saying that right? Nabil? Google custom chip is the future of Pixels. I hope so. I really hope that Google knocks it out of the park when they decide or when they get those Google chips ready. Without it, it's hard for Google to keep up. I mean, right now it's hard for Google to keep up. I feel like they could keep up, but I just feel like they're not doing what they need to do properly. Whether that happens is it's yet to be seen, but we'll see. We'll see. So again, guys, I'm not going to be able to I appreciate, I love that you guys are talking in chat, and I hope you guys are having that conversation together. But yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about what else I got here. I have, oh shit, we're an hour and a half in. I didn't realize I was that long. Oops. I didn't realize I was that long into the chat. I appreciate you guys sticking around and talking. Okay. So let me get this comment out of the way. This article from Android Authority, man, you know what? This might be the last one for the day. So this article, and I'll keep the other ones. Mint Arcade, I just real quick, Mint Arcade, I love you, bro. And I know you give me a lot of Xperia 1 Mark II stuff. And I am going to talk about, I actually had a different article to talk about. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow for sure. But we'll leave this as the final story for the day. Redmi 9 series could bring major upgrades to low-end phones. So we're going to go even lower in price here. And we're going to talk about phones that are around $150. Would I ever buy a $150 phone brand new? Depends how good the chipset is. I'm assuming they're not going to be that great, but this is a small story to talk about. And it's just nice to know that there are some people that can't spend $200, $300 for a phone, and maybe $150 is their price point. So Redmi, Xiaomi's low-end Redmi phones are usually among the best devices in the sub $150 tier, with recent Redmi phones offering big batteries and several other neat features. Now, frequent leaker Sudhanshu has revealed apparent Redmi 9 series details on Twitter, and they say we'll see 4 phones in the family. God damn, with so many, just why do we need 18,000 phones at similar price points? Why do we have to have 18 different brands? Why is it Xiaomi, Redmi, Vivo, Oppo, Realme? Did I say Realme? Poco. What am I missing? Oppo. Did I say Oppo? Whatever. There's so many. These 4 phones are said to be the Redmi 9A, 9C, 9C with NFC. That's a real thing. So you're going to have a 9C, and then you're going to have a 9C with NFC. Get the fuck out of here. And just a regular Redmi 9. Can you imagine going to a store and you're like, well, which one do you want? You looking for the Redmi 9? We have the 9A. We have the 9C, or we have the 9C with NFC. That begs me it begs me to ask the question, does the 9A have NFC? Does the Redmi 9 have the NFC? Why? I just don't understand why we can't. This is what bothers me with the Moto G, is why do we have the Moto G Pro, the Moto G Plus, the Moto G Fast, the Moto G fuck me in the ass. That was really, I have a feeling if Six is watching this, he's going to clip that. I don't know why that came out of my mouth right now. It's the end of the show. It's probably going to get demonetized anyway. Story of my life. Here are the full specs of the Redmi 9 series. This year, there will be 3 models in Redmi 9 series. The 9A, the 9C, the 9. These phones will soon launch globally as well as in India. Your take on these specs? So, wow, they have 5,000 milliamp hour batteries. That's huge. 6.5-inch IPS LCD screens, USB Type-C. They all have 3. Well, no, the 9A and 9C have 3 gigs of RAM. They all have 64 gigs of internal storage. The Redmi 9 has 4 gigs of RAM. I'm not going to go through all this stuff. These are the lower end phones at this point. I don't even know if there's anyone in here that's looking at lower end phones, but yeah, so they use MediaTek chipsets in it. I'm not going to go through the rest, guys. There's really, it's a story for people who want to read about it, who might be looking at $150 phones. I feel like, at least at this point in in my community here, I think we look for good phones, and I'm not saying that these are bad. I just don't know right now if I can give you an honest opinion on $150 phones because I don't own one and I don't know if I want to. But to be fair, with my TCL 10 Pro, with the 600 series chipset, I think it's a pretty well performing phone. I just cannot recommend it at $450. That's the honest truth. I'm just thinking, I'm like, I just talked about this. Why am I talking about it again? Just because maybe there are new people in here. And I will say this again, the Galaxy A71 at $365. I can't believe I'm saying this. I would recommend this phone for somebody. I would recommend a Samsung phone, guys. I would recommend this phone at a $365 price point. Who's looking for somebody, or for somebody who's looking for, who uses media consumption a lot, because it has a really big display, performs pretty well. We'll see. Anyway, I already talked about that. So let me just go through chat here. I know you guys are probably talking amongst yourselves, which is great. I see Will with the $1 super chat. Will, thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. I will throw you in the June super chatters intro and outro for tomorrow, as well as Brian, and as well as who else super chatted? I already forgot. For the people who super chatted, I will throw you in the super chat intros and outros for tomorrow. But thank you guys. Okay, let me scroll down. Hopkins says too many things to discuss. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm glad that we can have a conversation in here, and we can talk about this stuff. Krishna says if they were to drop Android and move to a new OS, they might end up like Windows phones. Even though Fuchsia is a Google product, it cannot keep up with Android at the moment. That's a good point. I am really out of the knowledge base when it comes to this, so I don't know where the progress is with it. Is there even an update to where Fuchsia is and what they're doing and how it's looking? That's something that would be actually interesting to talk about, but I just don't know enough about it. Brian says Axon 7 went toe-to-toe with OnePlus 3T and beat it with screen, SD card slot, and speakers. I actually didn't know that. I mean, I knew the speakers were good. I didn't know it beat it with the screen. Interesting. BBK. Yep. That's the whole parent company or whatever. Actually, yeah. And even though, and I forgot to mention OnePlus, because OnePlus says they're not part of BBK, but I think that's a bunch of shit. Will says LOL 9C with NFC sounds like a fast food order. Yeah, exactly. Krishna says, get me a Redmi 9Q with BBQ. I like that. Okay, so Will says, why do their cheap phones put Google to shame in batteries? That's a good point too. Who knows, man? I really don't know. That's why I talk about these other manufacturers with, like, a lot of these phones that are coming out of China, a lot of these sub brands and stuff, they have higher end specs at lower prices. And I just want to see that kind of stuff come to the States. Whether that becomes a thing, I mean, it very well, there might be a chance that it could be, guys. And I only say that because of the mid-range market with Apple, with the iPhone SE, with this possibly Pixel 4a, and then finding good deals like this Galaxy A71. And possibly if I get this Redmi 9T and I throw the Pixel experience on there, I'm going to talk about that shit all day, especially if it does well. I know Deepak, right? Deepak, I think you were the one talking about it, that the 9T doesn't have the best camera on it, but I'm still interested in testing it out, especially if I can get it for $265, or I might spend the 310 or 315 for the 128. That's a whole different story. We'll talk about it later. Krishna says here, Fuchsia at the moment is very young and not even ready for us devs to adopt and tinker with for apps. Knowing Google's track record, they might abandon it altogether, and we can't take that risk. And that's a fair enough point. I'm glad you said that, because I really didn't know where they were with it. I mean, I hear Fuchsia get talked about here and there, but it's not something I've kept my ear to the ground with. But that's probably why too, is because they just, Maybe they're so early in the development, and I haven't kept up with a lot of other Google stuff as well, just because I just I've said this before. My faith, my loyalty into where their software department is, or even just dropping hardware stuff, and if it's going to last another generation, it just doesn't have me, hopeful. What's really weird too is, so like I own a pair of, I have it right here. I own a pair of AirPods Pros, right? Or a set of AirPods Pro. Um, and that's what I use for my earbuds. And it's kind of weird that I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Apple's going to release with their over the ear headphones. Cause like I've kind of been wanting a pair of wireless over the ear headphones for a bit. And if they actually release a really nice product, I might buy into that. And it's weird because like I usually try to stay away from Apple stuff, but here I am now using the 11 Pro as my daily, AirPods Pro as my go-to headset. I use a MacBook Pro as my laptop. Um, Google needs to kill it, man. I not kill their product line. They need to come out with some fire shit. They really do. Deepak says my orange Pixel 4 sleeps at home. It dies mid-afternoon. The story of my life, man. I mean, you have an orange one too. What color is your 11 Pro Max? Is it midnight green? Because then we'd be twins, except you have the Max. Gives much better battery life. Will says getting sucked into Apple. I know, man. It's weird. It's weird. So okay, you know what? I think I'll leave it at that. Real quick though, before I go, guys, for anybody that just came in, if you guys haven't had a chance, please feel free to like the stream if you haven't already. Liking the stream, I believe, helps me in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the stream. Also, it gives you guys the opportunity to come in and say hi and chat and say what's up and engage in the community. We're all a bunch of nice folks. Nice folks. I sound like an old fucking man. We're good. We're a good group of people. And I do stream Mondays through Fridays. And we talk tech, we talk shop. We spent about an hour today, hour and 45 minutes. We've talked for a while. And last but not least, though, so again, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you guys haven't noticed, or if you have noticed, if you see people in chat with green in their name, that is because they are a member of my channel. They are part of this whole Phone Jerome squad, team, community, whatever you want to call it. And, you have that green in your name. You also have a Chicago star next to your name, and you get to use custom emoji. And you could do it for as cheap as 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click on this join button. If you cannot find that join button, all you got to do is go to youtube.com/Phone Jerome/join. It's as simple as that. At the end of the day, it's just a way to support me. Take that extra step to support if that's something that you guys can do. If not, you guys just being in here means a lot to me as it is, and I do appreciate it. So thank you so much. And with that being said, I have a new member, which is Marcus. Marcus A became a new YouTube member. Marcus, thank you so much. You are my you're the third new member for today. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. I've seen you come into the stream every once in a while, and it's nice to see you come in here. So thank you. Thank you so much for the support, Marcus. Appreciate you doing that. Thank you for being part of the team, squad, whatever you want to call it. Thank you so much. Okay. And I'll thank you guys again. I don't know what level you guys are at, but Marcus, thank you so much again. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, with that being said, I think that's where we're at. Holy shit, I forgot to pull up the outro, so you guys are going to have to bear with me. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pretend that I'm going to talk to you about something. This is me practicing my ad lib while I try to pull the outro out. I'm getting good at it, guys, aren't I not? But yeah, guys, if you do not know, I will be back tomorrow. Like I always do. We'll come back tomorrow around the same time. We'll talk about tech. We'll talk about anything that's tech related. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. I will try to cover as much as I can. I think that's important to have a good community. And I have really been enjoying this community and talking to everybody. But I do want to thank everybody again. I want to thank everybody, all the new members that came in today. Thank you for the support. For people who super chatted today, thank you for that extra support. For anybody that's come in and says hi, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, guys, it means a lot to me. It really helps me do what I do, and it helps me like make sure that I come back every day and get more shit for you guys and get better at what I do. All that kind of stuff. I do have more plans for this channel. I'm juggling 18 million things at once, but at least I can give this to you guys daily, consistently, and make sure that we talk about some good shit and have like good quality content and be like an actual community where we're not like just fighting over Apple, Android, and actually talk about something that's important. So guys, thank you so much again. Appreciate you stopping by. I am playing this outro, so here comes the music. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. Take it easy.